folks, and welcome to James Morris World Traveler. Now, in this video review, I want to talk about not one place, but two places. The first being a place called Fattoria Poggio. The other one being Hotel President or President Hotel. It's usually Hotel President. So let's get into it. First one being Fattoria Poggio. It's a restaurant and a vineyards. Now, I came here on June 4th, 2024 with my tour group, which this was an optional excursion out for dinner and seeing the vineyards where they talked about different types of wines that they produce, as well as a little bit, not as much, but a little bit about the olives that are grown. Now, not only do they produce the wines from the grapes that are on this vineyard, or in this vineyard, they, again, talk about, and it takes, by the way, one full tree of olives to make one bottle of Italian extra virgin olive oil. Crazy, right?
Here in the Tuscan countryside at a vineyard. These are the mountains in the background. And the puppy.
But true. Now, while we were there, after they had finished talking about these wines and the olives and whatnot, we ended up coming back to the main area by the restaurant, and they provided us with all these tables. There's, like I said, about 30 to 35 people in my group. I'm pretty sure everybody went, including myself. They did provide us with a multiple course meal with drinks and dessert. Now, the drinks they provided, amazingly, were the 5 types of wine. Also, water and non-alcoholic drinks for the non-drinkers like myself, like Coca-Cola, which I had 2 cans of Coca-Cola. Now, so the pre-meal included, there was olive oil with vinegar, where we would dip bread into the oil and vinegar to eat bread to start with. Then, dinner also included things like olives, green fried tomatoes, some kind of pate on bread, and a soup that I don't recall the name of the soup, but it was pretty good. Now, they also had salad. And my favorite part of the whole thing was this roasted beef, which was actually on the grill. It was roasted to perfection. It was like delicious. as well as later on these big salted fries, which they only gave us one plate, which I was kind of disappointed they didn't give us more because we ate it so fast. Like literally, it was out. And man, that friggin' roasted beef, oh my God, it was phenomenal. Now, they did have music and a singer during our meal and dessert. Oh, yes, dessert included like some kind of those little hard toasted bread type of item. I don't know what they call them, but it's like a bread dessert, like a flat bread dessert. I will show. I have pictures of it, so I will show obviously in this about that. We actually stayed here for over 3 hours, and our tour guide said to us, we broke the record on how long any of the tours have ever stayed here. Nobody has stayed this long. Crazy, right? Now, the next part that I want to talk about, oh shoot, for some reason I went out of the way here. Okay, there we go. I hit up button instead of down. So the next part I want to talk about is a place called Hotel President. So I stayed here on June 4th as well, 2024, for 2 nights. The hotel was okay, which I'll get a tiny bit more into in just a second. This hotel was located in the town of Prato, which was only about 20 minutes on a train for a train ride from Florence. So we stayed here instead of in Florence, which I can assume was cheaper than staying directly into Florence. So yeah, we stayed here. I was actually in room 220 on the second floor. The room was very small. And when I opened the door, the closet was at a weird angle. Like literally, here is the door that came in like this. And at the back side of the door, let's say this is the back side, the door, it hit the friggin' door. Or the mirror, like the mirror of the actual closet, which is really weird how they designed that at an angle. I've never seen that before. It's so weird. Now, so the door actually didn't fully open and would have hit the mirror if I slammed into it, which I tried not to. Another thing that I noticed unusual about this hotel room was the power plugs in the room were underneath the side tables at the bottom. In fact, right next to it. So I had to pull the bed out to plug my electronics in when I needed to use them. Really weird spot when they built it. Instead of bringing it out another foot, no, they built it right where the bed sat. So the edge of the bed frame sat right there. Really weird situation. Now, the shower as well was very, very small. This is one of the smallest showers I've ever fit in. I could barely stand in it. It was so tight. And unfortunately, I dropped the soap. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I did drop the soap and I had to literally almost squat down enough and then kind of sort of lean forward, but not enough. I could barely grab the soap off the floor of the shower. It was so tight. This normally I would just bend over with a slight bend down. So we had dinner that evening as well in a large room. We ended up having pasta al dente, cup potatoes, chicken, green beans, and a chocolate-filled cake thing, which was great. It was a great meal. This place is actually, ironically, located about a 2 to 3 minute walk to a grocery store just literally across the street. So if I wanted to get snacks, which when I came back from the touring of, we did a walking tour of Florence. When I came back after taking the train, I ended up buying a 1.5 liter cola drink, as well as a cake item, and or this box of cake items, which was tasty, as well as some kind of unusual type of pudding. Still good. This place is located about 15 minutes from the train station where I had to get off and then walk to. I actually had to, well, like I said, after the tour of Florence, my tour guide, the other tour guide for my actual tour, she actually gave me directions to the train station, and then I took the train from there. I actually had to ask a guy where my hotel was because I had no clue where this hotel was, because the map that he even provided me didn't even have any hotels that I noticed in the area on that map, which is really messy. So I'm like, okay. So it was like a 15-minute walk. So that was pretty good there that way. So overall, this hotel was okay. The food was really good. Overall, I would stay here again if there was other rooms that were bigger, but it's not the worst hotel I've ever seen, but it was just a lot of little things that were just shitty, like the small shower and really weirdly placed plugs. And all that. So yeah, overall, I would recommend this hotel if you don't care about space wise. I wouldn't recommend it if you like your plugs being in an accessible way. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'd stay here again in the future. But again, I don't have any plans to come back to Florence in a long time because I've been there twice now, and that's more than enough. Or to stay in this hotel, which is just outside of Prato or outside of Florence. Anyway, but if you wanted to get to this hotel, it's very convenient. So anyway, I will leave it at that. Yeah, so this just one more thing about the restaurant there. I would definitely recommend the Fattoria El Poggio. Definitely a great place for groups. So I would definitely recommend that. And again, the hotel I would not recommend per se, unless you don't give a crap of where you're staying and it's cheaper. So I'll keep it at that. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. And until the next video, we will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.